So we are, oops, got to turn this on. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Audit and Finance Standing Committee meeting of January 15th, 2025. My name is Councillor Kathy Daigle-Gammon with District 1, Waverly, Fall River, Muscogee Valley. So we'll do our call to order and land acknowledgement. The Halifax Regional Municipality is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and the traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people. The municipality acknowledges the peace and friendship treaties signed in this territory and recognizes that we are all treaty people. So our second agenda item is the approval of the... Oh, it says it's on. Okay. Sorry, Dorothy. So approval of the minutes of December 11th. Councillor Cleary, seconded by Councillor Morse. Thank you very much. Any errors or omissions noted? If not, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Opposed, nay. The motion is carried. I gotta watch this blank, Dorothy. Approval of the order of business and the approval of additions or deletions. Can we have a motion to approve the order of business? Councillor Cleary, seconded by Councillor St. Amand. Call for the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Motion is carried. Thank you. Business rising out of the middle. Call for conflict of interest. Hearing none. Motions of consideration, there are none. Motions of rescission, there are none. Consideration of deferred business, there is none. Notices of table matters, there is none. Correspondence, petitions, and delegation. Madam Clerk Dorothy, do we have any correspondence?
No correspondence has been received by the clerk's office.
Thank you. Any petitions?
No petitions have been received by the clerk's office.
Thank you. And so now presentations, there are none. Public participation, 4:30 on Tuesday, January 14th. There were no registered speakers for this meeting. Is there anyone from the gallery that would like to speak? The second time, is there anyone from the gallery that would wish to speak? For the third and final time, if there's anyone from the gallery that would like to speak. So hearing that there are none, we can go to information items brought forward. There is none. And staff reports, 13.1, the councillor appointments to Special Events Advisory Committee. Now, while there is no presentation, Annie Sherry, Public Appointments Coordinator, is available to answer any questions, should we have them. There is a motion, if someone would like to put the motion on the floor. Councillor St. Amand, thank you.
I move that the Audit and Finance Standing Committee, 1, appoint Deputy Mayor Mancini as the Harbour East Marine Drive Community Council representative to the Special Events Advisory Committee for a term to November 2026. 2, appoint Councillor White as the Halifax and West Community Council representative to the Special Events Advisory Committee for a term to November 2026. And 3, after the appointments of the representatives for the Harbour East Main Drive Community Council and Halifax and West Community Council, appoint one councillor from the 3 representatives appointed to the Special Events Advisory Committee from the community councils to serve as the chair of the Special Events Advisory Committee for a term to November 2026. And 4, after the appointments of the representatives for Harbour East Main Drive Community Council and Halifax and West Community Council, appoint one councillor from the 3 representatives appointed to the Special Events Advisory Committee from the community councils to serve as vice chair to the Special Events Advisory Committee for a term to November 2026.
Councillor Cleary, was that you as a second? Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for the question. Pardon, Mr. Cleary?
I think we have some appointments here to make ourselves.
Oh,
Okay.
Annie,
Hello.
floor is yours.
Good morning, Chair. Thank you. So through the Chair to the rest of the committee. So essentially what has happened here is that we have the Audit and Finance rep for the Special Events Advisory Committee. Councillor Gillis then became the de facto rep for the Northwest Community Council. Staff had to go to the other community councils to seek nominations for the respective reps from Halifax and West and Harbour East Marine Drive. We're looking to ratify each of those, or to appoint each of those individuals, and then also have the membership of Audit and Finance select the chair and vice chair from the 3 members. So that would be, if appointed, Deputy Mayor Mancini, Councillor White, and Councillor Gillis is already appointed. I will note that Deputy Mayor Mancini has indicated interest in serving as the chair of the committee again. Just wanted to let everyone know where he's not here today.
So, Annie, if I understand correctly, we now appoint the chair by motion. Okay, my apologies. I don't have that in my my sheet. So, is there a member of council that would like to make that motion, please? Councillor Cleary.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would nominate Councillor Mancini to be the chair. I do have a question, though. In the terms of reference, I believe I saw that it was, and this is kind of a weird way of doing it, but it was the appointment that this committee made that would be the chair. But what you're saying is basically we can look at any of the 3 that have been nominated by other bodies, and then we just choose one of those to be the chair, which is slightly different than what the terms of reference say. But anyway, if you guys are all cool with legal, I'm easy either way. So Mancini could be the chair because he's technically not a member of this committee.
Thank you. Through the chair to the councillor, he is, if appointed from the first 2 sections of the motion, he would then be a member of the committee.
We should probably tighten up the terms of reference then.
I agree.
May I ask a clarifying question? You're saying that if Councillor Mancini is chair, then he becomes a member of the Audit and Finance Committee? No. No. Good.
No. Thank you, Chair. These are the appointments to the Special Events Advisory Committee. They just have to be done here at Audit and Finance as the parent body of that meeting body.
So we have a motion from Councillor Cleary to appoint Deputy Mayor Mancini as chair of the Special Events Committee. Is there a seconder? Councillor Gillis. Thank you. Any discussion? No discussion. Call for the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye or raising your hand. Motion is carried. Now to our expert Annie again. Is the next motion to appoint the vice chair? Awesome. What is the wish of council? Any member like to make a motion for the vice chair? Councillor Cleary.
I don't remember seeing this in the terms of reference, but so the vice chair could be any one of these 3 or any member of the committee generally. So it has to be a councillor? Okay. I would look to Councillor Gillis. Do you want to be the vice chair? Since Councillor White's not here. Can't ask if she wants to. Okay. Then I would nominate Councillor Gillis.
Seconded by Councillor Morse, I thought I heard. Oh, Councillor Hinsby, thank you, is a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye or raising your hand. Motion is carried. Thank you very much. Are we now done? One more. Can you help me with that motion then, please? I don't see it here. Pardon? So
Thank you, Chair.
there's one more.
So we're just the final call on the question now that the chair and vice chair have been nominated.
Councillor Gillis, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a question, Annie. I'm just kind of trying to follow the bouncing ball here. I'm just curious to why my name is not included in the. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
I was
so-
just kind of a little confused when reading through this last night. I thought we were redoing it, but okay, I understand now. Okay. Thank you.
So now we need a motion to approve both appointments of the chair and the vice chair. Annie, is that correct? Thank you. So, to vote on the main motion as amended, the question has been called. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Thank you very much, Annie, for helping us through that. So our next item on the agenda is 13.1. Blake, urgent repair VOITH propulsion unit. There is no presentation associated with the report, but Philip, do we have Philip here? No. So someone is here from Transit. Thank you. To answer any questions we might have. Pardon? Marvin David, welcome. Thank you. We have a motion here. If a member of council would like to put the motion on the floor, and then we'll have the discussion. Councillor Cleary.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the Audit and Finance Standing Committee recommend to Regional Council, one, the approval of the transfer of funds from Options Reserve Q421 to facilitate the urgent repair work to the Craig Blake VOITH propulsion unit. Two, bring forward funding originally set forth in the 25-26 budget for regular maintenance for the Craig Blake so that this regular maintenance work takes place at the same time as the urgent repair work to avoid having a disruption to service later in the fiscal year. And three, the approval of funds of no more than $2 million from Q421 Options Reserve as set forth in the financial implications section of the staff report dated December 17, 2024 to provide the funding for the work set forth in recommendations 1 and 2.
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Morris, for the second. Councillor Cleary.
Just a quick question for staff then. So obviously the information provided here is this is urgent. Like we got to do this, or it's going to be up and then we won't have it in the water. So can you just run us through what's happening, the timeline? And it was already scheduled for some maintenance coming up. So this is over and above that. So just describe what it is for the public listening, if there's any.
Good morning, Chair and Committee. My name is Marvin David. I'm the manager of ferry operations with Halifax Transit. Through the chair to the councillor, the ferry Craig Blake was scheduled for her 5-yearly dry dock later in the fiscal year. However, since 2023, there have been some technical issues with one of the propulsion units, the VOITH propulsion unit, which has warranted temporary repairs as per the recommendation and guidance of the manufacturer and in approval of Transport Canada Marine Safety. However, those are just temporary repairs, but there is a permanent work and investigation and which needs to be carried out to fix the problem altogether. And this work can only be carried out of the water in a dry dock, and that's the request for this motion.
And because this was, although it's happening now maybe a bit faster, this was already planned, is there any impact on service for ferry rides across the harbor?
At this point, no. We just got one of the ferries back, which was due for her scheduled dry dock, the Christopher Stanning. So it would be one vessel is back and the other would be scheduled through the procurement process when the time's right, as soon as possible. And then we'll still have 4 ferries in service to maintain a regular service.
Awesome. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Our CFO has a comment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jerry Blackwood, Chief Financial Officer. Just to add to that, and the urgency of the repairs. If the repairs weren't urgent, we would have brought this forward as a budget item. But we need to get moving on this. So we wouldn't have ratification of the budget until I think it's mid-April. So we want to get going on these repairs. That's why we went with the reserve withdrawal to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Councillor Hensby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can I get clarification? When was this ferry put into commission? What year did it come on board? And I'm kind of curious of what type of warranty comes with these things. And I'm also curious if we experience this problem with this particular ferry. I believe we all have the same propulsion system for the other ferries. Are we looking to see if we're going to have the same problem elsewhere with the other boats?
Thank you for the question, Councillor. Through the chair to the Councillor, this ferry was built in the year 2015 and has been serviced since then. She has gone through her one scheduled dry docking in 2019-2020. And the other ferries also have the same propulsion units, and this is the odd one out where has one unit out of the 2 propulsion units is facing challenges. So all the other units are performing as they should be.
So just kind of curious that if it came about on this particular model, I wonder if it's a design flaw or something that's unique, that's different that occurred here that may not occur with the other boats? Through the chair to the councillor, the design of all the ferries are the same, the units are the same, the mechanical operations are the same, and they more or less run the same number of hours. So it's particular to this one unit. Out of the 10 units, this one has been giving issues for the last couple of years, which needs to be investigated and rectified. So. Yeah, I just hope we don't see it reoccur again in the other boats. Just since it's come to our attention, are we going to be looking at this at the other boats to see if they're having any similar issues?
Yes, definitely. There is an annual inspection and detailed manufacturer's inspection every year, which is carried out. It's called a health check for mechanical and electronic issues, just to preempt and foresee if any issues could be coming up on the other vessels. But so far, we've not noticed anything on any other vessel.
And since we've been following what it's required by Transport Canada with these routine inspections and overhaul and stuff, are there any carry forward warranties at all, or are they all past us because of the age of the boat?
With the age of the boats, the warranties are well past due. So it's just a regular OEM recommendations and procedures which we follow now.
I was kind of curious if there was like you buy a car, you get your transmission system guaranteed for so many miles. I wasn't sure if we had so many hours with this machinery or not. So
hours and the years are being passed for the warranty period for all the vessels now. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor St. Amand.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Following up on Councillor Hensby's question, so is there an opportunity for, as a result of this major repair as opposed to routine maintenance, to do a post-mortem, as it were, to determine exactly what the source of the problem is so that we can predict whether or not that might be something that might be in the offing in other vessels? It seems like, the budgetary implications here, it makes sense to me to do everything at once. I mean, it seems like, going through the process of taking the boat out of the water and trying to make repairs in 2 separate instances wouldn't make a lot of sense. So combining the scheduled maintenance with this urgent repair absolutely makes sense. My hope, though, is that we'll be afforded an opportunity to really dive a little bit deeper into what the underlying cause is so that we can identify whether or not there's a risk of recurrence in other vessels that we're operating as well, and do whatever we need to mitigate that risk.
Chair to the councillor, thank you. Yes, that is the intention with this recommendation that the entire unit is taken apart, and the manufacturer's representative will be in attendance for the duration to do a deep dive, and with the parts being ordered, if required, overall and actual analysis of what was the actual cause of this problem, and then based on that. Plans will be put in place if required for looking out for other vessels as well.
Is it a substantial replacement of parts inside the propulsion unit itself, or is it a swap of the propulsion unit, permitting a longer and more detailed examination of what went wrong in that particular unit that would not affect operational time?
Through the chair to the councillor, yes. The inspection and the analysis can only be undertaken once the vessel's out of the water and fully taken apart to do the full analysis of which part malfunctioned or there was issues with that, and that will give us a good idea of what needs to be rectified, and if there's any issues which need to be followed up with other vessels, that will be in line with that after that.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sanamon. Councillor Morse.
Thank you, Chair. Just similar line of questions, I guess. It's a bit mysterious to me still about this type of unit. We have them in other ferries, and the other ones are older than this one, but have not encountered the same problems. So do we have any idea why the older similar units aren't having any problems and the newer one is?
Through the chair to the councillor, thank you for the question. The Craig Blake is the second oldest vessel out of the 5. So,
Okay.
But yes, they all have been in service of about 6 to 10 years now, continuously. And for some reason, this one particular unit, even between the vessel itself, there are 2 units. One works without any issues, and this one has the oddity there. So that's what this exercise this time will hopefully reveal what the actual issue is, and we'll have to repair with the parts required with that.
So if there was a fault in the original construction of the unit, we have no recourse?
Through the chair to the councillor, the recourse would be just to replace and repair, and that's why the parts are being ordered as part of this emergency dry docking. And then once we get that, we can only closely monitor and take care of all the other vessels and all the other propulsion units going forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morse. Councillor Gillis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a few follow-up questions, just kind of in line with everyone else. Have we spoken to the manufacturer about possibly what could have went wrong with this unit, like the propulsion unit?
Through the chair to the councillor, yes. No, every time there is a issue or a problem identified, there's close collaboration, coordination, and communication with the manufacturer, which is based out of Germany and United States. We have a good working relationship, and their representatives have been attending this vessel even last year in 2024, spring of 2024. They were here, and they opened up what could be opened up while the vessel was afloat and inspected. There was nothing out of the ordinary found at that point, and the recommendation was to keep the vessel in service and prepare for the scheduled dry dock. However, in September 2024, there were issues, and there's kind of slight water ingress which has started since then. So the determination has been that the gear which is on the hull of the vessel is starting to give way because of this abnormality, so that has to be rectified. But every time there is an inspection or somebody's coming down, they provide us with a report and analysis post that.
Okay. And one other, is there any warranty on the new unit that's coming or that is being replaced?
Through the chair to the councillor, yes, the mechanical and electronic parts, they come through with their standard warranties as part of the agreement with the manufacturer, which is standard 6 months to a year, and that's
wow.
standard industry-wide. So.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Councillor Hensby. Thank you, Councillor Gillis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With the $2 million anticipated overhaul for this boat, could I ask our CFO, does that extend the life expectancy of the asset, so therefore the depreciation might be adjusted on this?
Thank you for your question, Councillor Hensby. These repairs aren't of a capital nature, so they would not be what we call TCA qualified, where they, would be amortized. That's what's coming here as a reserve withdrawal. It's not going through a capital budget request. This is operating funding that will supplement the repairs. It does not qualify as a capital expenditure.
Seeing no other speakers on the list, shall we call for the question? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye or raising your hand. Opposed, nay. That motion is carried. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Mr. David. The next, which is the investment activities for the quarter ending September 30th, 2024. While there is no presentation, I do see Vicki Robertson, Director of Revenue, and Aaron McLean, Deputy Treasurer, here available to answer any questions. Would a member of council like to put the motion on the floor? Councillor Cleary, you're up again.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll move that the Audit and Finance Standing Committee forward the staff report dated December 18, 2024 to Halifax Regional Council as an information item. And, when you read the report and you look at the interest rate environment we're in, we're ahead of the budget, which is always good. We'll see what kind of impact that has. I have no real questions, but, good job, staff, although it's not hard to make money right now.
Signify by saying aye or raising your hand. Opposed, nay. The motion is carried. Vicki, Aaron, that was one of the easiest ones for you today, I think. Item 14 on our agenda is motions, and there are none. Added items, we had none. Notices of motion. Members of the committee, do you have any notices of motion? Seeing none, the date of 2025, and would ask for a motion to adjourn. So moved at 10:28. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.